has diarrhea, give zinc tablets once a day, plus ORS every 4 hours, or frequently in small sips from a cup, so that your child will replenish lost nutrients and regain strength. Also, visit the nearest health facility to get treatment for diarrhea. This message is from the ANRIN Project, Federal Ministry of Health.
From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Melinda Akilami.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, a sad day for the Christian community in Zamfara State as gunmen kidnap Catholic priest in Damboa. Police say efforts are on to rescue the priest from captivity. Youth in Taraba move against extrajudicial killings, challenge security operatives to fish out killers of their slain monarch. Eminent Nigerians gather in Lagos, advocate for the strengthening of the nation's federalism. And Hamas condemn Israeli strikes on Gaza, maintain that dozens of residents have been sent to their early graves. On business news tonight, Nigeria's FX reserves sustain positive movement, rises further this week to hit a 3-month high.
On sports news tonight, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal secures a place in the last 16 of Euro 2024 with a comfortable win over Turkey in Dortmund.
We begin with security matters. In Zamfara State, suspected bandits have kidnapped the parish priest of St. Raymond's Catholic Church, Damboa, Reverend Father Mikael Sulaiman. Confirming the incident to Channels Television, the spokesperson of the State Police Command, ASP Yazi Abubakar, said the priest was kidnapped around 3 this morning at his residence in Damboa area of Gusau, the state capital. He says the command has deployed its police tactical squad to ensure his safe return. While a statement by the acting chancellor, Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Very Reverend Father Nuhu Ilia, has urged Christians and all men and women of goodwill to pray for the quick release of the priest. Reports say the attacks in Zamfara State have increased in recent weeks despite efforts of security operatives. Meanwhile, the coalition of northern groups in Zamfara State has condemned the increasing violent attacks and abductions in the state, especially the kidnap of the Catholic priest. Speaking to our correspondent in Gusau, the state capital, the coordinator of the group, Mr. Hussaini Hassan, advised the authorities to take immediate steps against these acts and make the state safe for all. He appealed to the state government to increase cooperation with relevant stakeholders and security agencies to find a lasting solution to the problem.
When I'm coming back from the community, I heard that one Reverend Father was being kidnapped at Dampa in Gusau, LGA, close by the state city capital where we are today. But I think this is a terrible moment because it's a situation whereby we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. If a lot of incidents is happening within the Gusau metropolitan system, now it's coming down to the city itself, where there's a lot of security situation close by, which we think we need to have a protective measure because of the security around the locations. But this situation has been increasing day by day, time by time. So what we expect from the government is to put more effort on providing security of life and properties of the citizens, because this is going to be so alarming because it's increasing. What we demand from government should come closer and find the solution in these problems, because you can't address problem without knowing the root causes of these problems. If government can come closer to the people, find out what is the problem, how can this thing happening? Where was this happening? So that from there, I think government can find solution how to tackle this insecurity, because you can't address problem without knowing the problems.
Staying with security, with this time in Taraba State, where a youth association is appealing to the authorities to address the killings of residents in Usmanu village. While applauding the efforts by the governor so far in ensuring peace in the state, the group is asking the authorities to deploy more security to the area to safeguard their lives and properties.
The 15th of November 2023 is a day that has cast an atmosphere of fear, dread and apprehension on the residents of Usmanu village in Taraba State. On that horrifying day, persons suspected to be bandits vandalized and forcefully released from police custody a suspect arrested in possession of live ammunition and firearms, leading to the death of one Barasu Salisu. The gunmen were in Dawn. On the 11th of January 2024, they struck again, killing one person, and on the 2nd of June 2024, they attacked yet again and killed the village head of Usmanu community, forcing residents to call for security reinforcement to avert further breakdown of law and order. Youths of the affected areas under the umbrella of Workon Youth Association of Nigeria used this press conference to appeal to concerned authorities to fish out the perpetrators, end extrajudicial killings, and ensure the return of peace to their community.
We humbly call on His Excellency Dr. Abukepas to please consider the plight of our people, especially those in Usmanu village, and deploy adequate security reinforcement to safeguard lives and property. We also want to call on the Commissioner of Police to deploy skilled and well-trained personnel to restore sanity and uphold the dignity and integrity of the Nigerian police force in Usmanu village.
Police authorities in Taraba State are investigating the series of attacks, assisted by professional hunters to comb the forest where the bandits are suspected to be hiding.
As a matter of fact, I have given my DPOs the directive that all operations that they are carrying out, they should carry the hunters along. And they should equally monitor the activities of hunters in the various local governments so that they will not go and operate outside the confines of the laws of the land. So we are still very much in collaboration.
Aware of the situation, Governor Abu Kefas promises that his administration will strengthen community-based security initiatives to ensure ungoverned lands are not used to perpetrate evil.
We'll continue to strengthen community-based security initiatives in collaboration with our security agencies to ensure that we sustain what we have started and to even improve better on that, extending it to the farmlands and the ungoverned spaces in Taraba State.
The Workon Youth Association of Nigeria say they will continue to seek for justice until it is served to ensure they can return to their farms and ancestral homes without fear as the rainy season sets in.
To other stories now, the federal government has given assurances that the gas pipeline in Edo State, popularly known as OB3, will be completed by mid-August. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mr. Amile Kyari, and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Gas, Mr. Ekperikwe Ipo, gave the assurance during an inspection of the project in Rivers State. Our correspondent, Dele Omoyeni, has this report.
Heron Connect offers a possibility to...
In line with the Nigerian Gas Master Plan to increase domestic gas supply for power generation, industrial and domestic use, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and its partners set out to construct a 130 kilometers gas pipeline running through Rivers, Edo and Delta states over 5 years ago. However, the project faced some technical difficulties. After several attempts to cross the river Niger underwater to link the pipeline to other parts of the country, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
This is a major project of monumental value to our country. What it means is that this is the only way we can deliver the gas revolution. And I'm very happy and convinced that by the middle of August, I've been assured by the team that by the middle of August, we will complete this. The target is to do it by the end of July, but we are very, very optimistic that once this is done, we'll see about 2.2 billion scope of gas coming into our network, and we believe that this is going to give our country a breathing space of demand. I'm not sure we can catch up with that demand in the next 1.5 years, and we're happy that this will give us the platform for us to unleash the gas revolution in our country.
Gas will be supplied to all the 6 geopolitical zones of this country, and we will have enough to equally export, which will generate revenue for the country. Power generation will be improved and supplied to domestic homes. We are talking about CNG, LPG, there will be improvement.
The pipeline is expected to connect the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline, which is also under construction. The federal government is keeping an eye on the completion of these projects, following the increasing reliance on liquefied natural gas and compressed natural gas, which is expected to drive down the cost of living as well as increase foreign exchange earnings.
The technical complexity of this River Niger crossing and have assured us that they have the right solution to cross the river at this point, and it's very integral to our ability to turn this gas into foreign exchange via LNG or petrochemicals, and as the Honourable Minister and all the other speakers have said, also to deliver prosperity to Nigerians in the form of electricity and many other uses of gas.
When completed, the project is estimated to move 2 billion standard cubic feet of gas per day. The NNPC Limited is optimistic that it will lead to a reduction in gas flaring and create employment opportunities. Daily Omoyeni, Channels Television News.
For Nigeria to realize its full potential, there must be the existence of a federal system of government that is given all the necessary backing to succeed. This is the focus as speakers explore ways to dissect the theme, strengthening the Nigerian federalism. What options are there? As the Catholic Men's Guild hosts its 2024 annual conference in Lagos. The keynote speaker, Reverend Father Anthony Akinwale, said to make progress in the country, the power must really lie with the people.
What should a new or modified federal constitution look like in Nigeria? The Nigerian constitution must state explicitly that sovereignty belongs to the people and that the state is to serve and preserve the sovereignty of the people. The state exists for the citizen, not the citizen for the state. The state is an instrument in the hands of citizens. A state that is superior to the citizen is a state that is either totalitarian or on the verge of totalitarianism.
While other speakers, such as Senator Shehu Sani and Senior Advocate of Nigeria and Human Rights Lawyer Mr. Femi Falano, discussed the security situation and state of freedom of worship in the country.
Bandits are a gang of criminals that are involved in the acts of extortion using violence. They kidnap people, they kill, they hold hostages until ransoms are paid. They are headquartered in Zamfara, and that cancer has spread to neighboring states of Katsina, Kaduna, Kebbi, and Niger states. We need a Nigeria that we will all be proud of. There's no doubt about that. But what we need is we can configure and reset the country.
Sections 38, 39, and 40 of the Constitution guarantee freedom of religion, thought, and conscience. In other words, to believe in God or not to believe in God is guaranteed by the Constitution. Section 39 guarantees freedom of expression. You can express yourself. You can mobilize people to join your religion. Section 40 allows us to assemble, either for religious purposes or for any other purpose.
In part two, after the break, Gabby Williams, Alzheimer's Foundation, raises awareness about the degenerative disease and the promotion of brain health. That's in a moment. Join us again.
Bro, I tell you, this match 3-0. Okay. If I win you, something will come out.
Don't play with me. Fast ball. Ah, you know what? You go shot. Bro. Now we got this man.
Keep the banter going. Glow. Borrow me credit and data. Dial *303# to borrow airtime or data and pay later.
Is it ready?
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data. Glow Unlimited.
The Duchess International Hospital caters to every aspect of a family's health needs. A one-stop shop for maternity and child health services, emergency medicine and critical care, medical and surgical subspecialties, dental and eye care, and a range of other subspecialties and services, all available at a single location right here in the heart of Ikeja. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying out of pocket using your HMO or private insurance. We focus completely on providing that world-class affordable healthcare for all the family at all times.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Police in Zamfara State confirmed the abduction of Catholic priest in Gusau. Commissioner of Police says efforts are on to rescue the priest from captivity. Youths in Taraba appealed to the state government to end the spate of extrajudicial killings in Usmanu village in Karim Lamido local government area of the state, asked security agencies to fish out killers of their monarch. Eminent Nigerians gather in Lagos, advocate for the strengthening of the nation's federalism. And Hamas says Israeli strikes on Gaza City killed dozens of residents in the city. In aviation, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria says it's taking decisive steps to curb touting, extortion, and illegal activities at the airport. At the recent media interactions with journalists in Lagos, the managing director of FAN, Mrs. Olubumi Kuku, said the agency is setting up a dedicated task force led by its director of special duties. There are also plans to engage all government agencies operating at the airports to ensure compliance with the new measures, as magistrate courts will soon be set up at the international airport to prosecute offenders. Meanwhile, the Acting Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Mr. Chris Najumo, says staff welfare remains a priority and he will not be distracted by people launching attacks such as defamatory statements against him. He made this known through a press statement where he expressed his determination to provide a conducive working environment for the staff and set NACA on a path of growth. Reduce stress, eat healthy, exercise, and sleep well in order to manage your brain health. This is part of the message at the 6th anniversary of the Gabby Williams Alzheimer's Foundation Animation Premiere and Press Conference to raise awareness about the degenerative disease and promote brain health. The event also featured talks on dementia alongside a brain health message from the foundation. Our correspondent Chris Alems has this report.
Memories should last forever. Unfortunately, this is not so for 5% of people aged from 65 to 74 who suffer from Alzheimer's disease, the most prevalent form of dementia. To raise awareness about this degenerative brain disease, which causes brain cells to die, and to also help reduce the stigma in Nigeria, the Gabby Williams Alzheimer's Foundation was inaugurated on September 11, 2017 to honor the life and work of Dr. Gabby Williams, a public health pioneer diagnosed of Alzheimer's disease. In a welcome address, Olaton Gabby Williams speaks to, amongst other things, challenges posed by the disease, which currently affects over 50 million people worldwide.
Alzheimer's disease is a disease of the brain. It leads to loss of memory and thinking skills. And ultimately, it leads to an inability to carry out all the basic functions needed for daily living.
Despite these staggering numbers, many people remain unaware of these deeply impactful symptoms. A reason the foundation is championing various advocacy projects, as well as brain health and healthy aging campaign.
We decided to work on these projects, remembering tomorrow, as an added pedal to our advocacy programs.
And this occasion provides a chance for goodwill messages that underscores the significance of the foundation's work and the urgent need for increased awareness and resources.
The journey to finding a cure for Alzheimer's is not an easy one, but with organizations like Gabby Williams Alzheimer's Foundation and the Alzheimer's Disease Association of Nigeria leading the charge, we're making strides every day.
The event also featured a keynote lecture on dementia and brain health, delivered virtually by Professor Olajide Gabby Williams.
If you look at the brain specimen below,
who you be? Na me, Ngozi, your picking friend.
And premiere of 2 animation films, including Remembering Tomorrow, which gives an insightful and educational look into the effect of this condition.
The most common form of dementia, 2/3 of cases, is Alzheimer's disease. And dementia generally is just a broad group to describe conditions with the symptoms that we've heard earlier: forgetfulness, irritability, some form of depression and aggressiveness, and all those symptoms put together.
For caregivers, the experience is not a dance or tea party, but one that requires a lot of patience.
Dementia is a very reflex disease. It's heartbreaking for everybody concerned, even the person, apart from the person suffering. In fact, the people that are not suffering from it, being the caregivers, actually suffer more, because the other people, the sufferer himself, have probably lost that sense of it. So we suffer, the primary caregivers, especially if it's your loved one, you suffer more.
There is, however, a lesson for all to take away.
Sleep well, eat a good balanced diet, reduce the stresses in your life, exercise, and that doesn't need to be formal exercise, movement, and exercise your brain.
In every forgotten memory lies a story of love, years of togetherness. The Gabby Williams Alzheimer's Foundation continues to be a beacon of hope and resilience in this important cause. And with the right support, the foundation will continue to provide resources, advocacy, and help for patients and caregivers. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
The Managing Director, Niger Delta Development Commission, Mr. Samuel Buku, has asked staff of the Commission to internalize the renewed hope mantra of the President. Mr. Obuku was speaking at the annual retreat of the NDDC Directorate of Finance and Supply in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, with the theme, The Role of the Niger Delta in the Attainment of the Renewed Hope Agenda, the Directorate of Finance and Supply as a case study. It says the NDDC is pivotal to the actualization of the 8 points contained in the Renewed Hope Agenda.
Renewed hope. What is the renewed hope? What is the renewed hope which we want to transform to assured hope? Because as we're having renewed hope, we should also be working towards an assured hope. The hope can be renewed, but what is that renewed hope we're looking up to? That renewed hope we're looking up to is the innovations are going to come up with. That renewed hope is that NDDC is no more the same. That renewed hope is putting it into practice that the past is the past and we're all looking into the future. That is the renewed hope we're talking about. So the renewed hope is not leaving this place and going back to Port Harcourt or to your various state offices to continue in the same way. You must put that renewed hope into practice.
The NDDC boss, who was also presented with an award of excellence by the team, challenged the Directorate to come up with appropriate approaches to tackle the debt burden in the Commission. The King of Apara Kingdom in Obiapo local government area has been appointed by the governor to chair the River State Council of Traditional Rulers. Eze Chike Wolu Wodo, who recently visited the governor to pledge support for his administration, is to replace King Sergeant Awuse, an ally of the former governor, Mr. Yesom Wike. At a meeting with traditional rulers at the government house, Governor Fubara said the appointment of the new chairman is due to the inactivity and absence of effective leadership in the council.
So I can feel that the council for a while now has been very inactive. Inactive because maybe the chairman have decided not to be responsible as a chairman. I would like to draw your attention to a special, I call it a special insult that was melted to this government. The council produced a calendar for the year of our Lord 2024. And the governor's picture, the deputy governor's picture, was not in the calendar. I want to ask you, does it show any sign that that leadership is working with this government? So I've decided today that we have to move forward by the special grace of God. The administrative lifespan of the chairman is 1 year, which is renewable, isn't it? So at this particular hour, I have to say that with the power vested on me, the tenure of Sergeant Awuse has terminated. So let me, before saying other things, announce here, SSG and the Commissioner for Chieftaincy should note that the new chairman from this particular moment will be Eze Chike Wolu.
To resolve the lingering minimum wage crisis between the federal government and organized labor, a new minimum wage of 90,000 naira has been suggested by Senator Orji Uzor-Kalu. He mentioned this during a closed-door meeting with Dr. Alex Oti in Abia State. According to Governor Oti, his focus is to drive the people of Abia State and give them a better deal, as once elections and litigations are over, political platforms take the back seats and governance takes the front burner.
I welcome you, not as a member of a different political party, but as the servant of the people of Abia State, of which you are one of them. And as the governor of Abia State, I'm not a governor of any political party. Any political party that anybody belongs is his choice. But once you are from Abia or you live in Abia, you are part and parcel of this government. So I want to thank you for that recognition. And I would like to preach to everyone who hitherto saw political parties as instruments of war to desist and think again. Political parties are mere platforms, and every other person wants good governance, and that's what we are working hard to give our people.
While Senator Kalu harped on the need to reduce hunger in the land and urged the state and federal governments to do all they can to tackle the current economic challenges.
I'm a proponent of that local government should have their money fully. And I'm also believing that 62,000 naira cannot do anything. I propose 90,000. And why I propose 90,000 is very simple. We have not increased the minimum wage in 5 years. If you use 5 years of minimum wage, that have not been implemented, say that we are increasing 200% from 30,000 to 90,000. Divide 5 years, 5 with 200% increase is 40%. So that 40% gives you the inflation, both the galloping inflation, the food inflation, the transportation inflation that are caused by you have it done. This is why I say 90,000. I might be different with so many people that are in government, but I'm a practical person. The civil servant needs some good treatment and good behavior.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's FX reserve sustains positive movement, rises further this week to hit a 3-month high. That's on Business News. Please join us again.
Big tech wasn't really here. What have they seen in the past 10 years, which is making all of them want to put their HQ here?
If you're a business that sees itself going global, we'll definitely need some sort of like boost. We need to tap into those existing networks that these big tech companies do provide.
Is there a downside to big investment in Africa? Okay. It's a tricky question.
We want to be like Amazon, we want to be like Google. Like, this is not, we are not looking to sort of be just another player.
For me, big tech is something highly controversial. I see the value of it, but I also see that Africans should stop playing second fiddle to some of these organizations and have the confidence to start building our own technology.
We've seen how we are using the limited resources we have to solve real problems. They've seen indigenous tech startups achieving things that took them years to figure out.
Welcome back. To infrastructure, the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FERMA, has commenced the desilting of water channels, filling of potholes, and rehabilitation work on some federal roads in Imo and Enugu State. According to the agency, blocked hydraulic structures and drainages, as well as filled portion on roads with heavy potholes, are some of the causes of floodings, which affect the ease of transportation. Our correspondent, Eitekwe Kutei, has this report.
A few weeks ago, the managing director of FEMA, Emeka Agbasi, was in Kogi State North Central to officially flag off the agency's nationwide program tagged Operation Desilt Water Channels.
What we're doing in this particular flag off is to ensure that drainages that are silted up are desilted, and in the process of doing that, we allow free flow of water, which otherwise would have affected the pavement.
After that, the exercise shifts to the southeast region. In Imo State, officials of the agency are up and about desilting drainage channels and patching of potholes between kilometer 39 plus 500 and kilometer 43 plus 659 along Owerri Obo Umaya Road and Afo Eyogugusam Mbakwe Airport Road. The leader of the team sheds light on what the exercise is all about.
We have approval to do some remedial works along this Owerri Obo Umaya Express, and the scope of the work entails patching of potholes and the shifting of tilted up drainage structures.
It's the same story in Enugu State. Here, the road maintenance agency is doing more than just patching of potholes by rehabilitating some failed sections of the road and desilting drainage channels along the Unsuka, Eha Alumon and Benue State Border Road and others.
So we are actually having a strategic maintenance process where we can actually make it motorable for motorists and agriculturists that will be carrying their agricultural products to other states.
Some road users and residents of the area commend the federal government for embarking on a desilting exercise, especially during the rainy season.
In fact, ever since I was born, this is the first time this kind of thing is happening in this road. So if I begin to express my joy, words won't be enough to actually quantify it. But I must tell you, I'm very, very grateful. In fact, not just myself, but the entire community.
Just as this activity is going on in the southeast, FEMA says same is applicable in other zones of the country, and the agency believes that this initiative will mitigate the effect of flooding this year in some flood-prone states and ensure ease of movement for commuters nationwide. Channels Television News.
In Rivers State, the Minister of Works, Mr. David Umahi, has given assurances that the Bodo-Boni Road will be completed by December the 15th this year. The road is expected to connect remote riverine communities between Bonny Island and Port Harcourt as an alternative to water transportation. During an inspection of the road, the project director assured the minister that they are on course to meet the deadline, while Mr. Umahi revealed that the project cost has been reviewed from 200 billion naira to 280 billion naira.
We have caved into the demands of Beja, but I'm also happy that Beja caved in the other locations where we have differences, like the Abuja Kano Road, Second Niger Bridge, Lagos, Ibadan, Oduopane and Cross River. So that's give and take. So we are not unhappy for agreeing to the cost that Beja posed to us. So we've accepted the cost. So the project is being reviewed to a final figure of 280 billion, and that is final completion cost. And so we came to see the level of mobilization. That's just about 4 or 5 days ago. And we are happy that Beja's presence is felt on site and have resumed work.
we as partners in progress, we have now all hands on that. We have formed a common understanding of what is relevant and needs to be worked on. And I strongly believe as strong partners and as a team that we will bring this project to a success and a completion.
The president of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, Mrs. Maria Lagbaja, says the association will continue to focus on initiatives that will improve the welfare of wives and children of Army personnel. The NAWA president was speaking at a meeting to celebrate her first year in office in Abuja. Mrs. Lagbaja explains that the association's legacies will be hinged on empowering spouses of armed personnel to the attainment of their full potential.
President of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association and other officials of the association ushers in the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, to this event to mark the first anniversary of the NAWA president. They are received into the hall by beautifully clothed members of NAWA. In her opening address, the president of NAWA, Mrs. Maria Lagbaja, lists some of the achievements of the association in the last 1 year, as well as plans to improve the welfare of relatives of Army personnel.
I am filled with deep sense of pride and gratitude for the collective achievements we have accomplished. Over the past 12 months, we have embarked on numerous outreaches, programs, and initiatives aimed at enhancing the welfare of our members, uplifting our communities, and supporting the humanitarian efforts of the Nigerian Army.
The event also features a presentation by children of NAWA Nursery and Primary School. And then it was time to launch the NAWA president's Next Level Transformation Initiative.
Positivity, being positive-minded, is not just beneficial for the community alone, but for you as an individual, for you as a wife, for you as member, NAWA, NASWA, or even in your various organizations or any other association that you belong.
The Chief of Army Staff is a special guest of honor. He highlights the stabilizing role of their spouses in the attainment of peace and security in the country.
For us in the Nigerian Army, where our women, particularly those in the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association and the Nigerian Army Soldiers' Wives Association, have been the bedrock of our successes, providing unwavering support and strength.
NAWA says its initiative aims to further empower and uplift its members, providing new opportunities for personal and professional growth.
Some company news now. Stanbic IBTC Insurance, a subsidiary of Stanbic IBTC Holdings, has launched an education endowment plan designed to empower parents and guardians in securing the academic futures of their children and wards. The education endowment plan encourages a long-term investment strategy for young adults.
There's a saying that goes, one of the best investments one can make for a child's future is education. Stanbic IBTC Insurance agrees with this, which is why they're providing a solution that guarantees peace of mind.
Thank you so much for coming today.
At this interactive media session, they unveiled an education endowment plan designed to empower parents and guardians to safeguard their children's educational future.
This education endowment plan ensures that the children's educational aspirations are not hindered by unexpected life events and financial constraints. And then it has a dual benefit. What do I mean by that dual benefit? It provides a combination of life insurance and at the same time, savings plan. So if the policyholder passes away during the policy term, the beneficiary receives the sum assured. And at the same time, the policyholder survives, they can receive a maturity as a living benefit.
This policy is a guarantee to ensure that that future that you plan for your world, that future that you plan for your children is actually achieved. And the other features of this particular product that make it distinct from every other product is the accrued bonus that is added to the benefit. For every year of the policy plan, there is a 2% of the sum assured that is added to what is paid as benefit at the end of the tenure.
Endowment plan. Over to you, Nicole.
During a fireside chat, the head of retail discusses how the company intends to raise awareness for greater impact.
We are not just looking at just any product. We are looking at the product that resonates in the minds of almost every concerned parent. So we will be partnering with a lot of schools. We already started at PTAs of school, proprietors of school. We don't want to have kids dropping out from school because their parents are no more, the breadwinner is no more. So we are looking at saving our customers. So we are going even beyond the current customers. We have to look at partnering with various institutions.
Thank you. You can give me the round of applause. I'll take it. Thank you.
With over 2 decades of service, Stanbic IBTC Insurance is backed by the strong and reputable history of the Stanbic IBTC Group, ensuring excellent service delivery. The launch of the Educational Endowment Plan underscores the company's commitment to providing financial solutions that support the educational aspirations of future generations.
In order to ensure food security in Gombe State, Governor Inuwa Yahaya has flagged off the sale of fertilizers for the 2024 farming year. A total of 4 tons of fertilizers have been procured by the governor for distribution to farmers in the 114 wards in the state. The governor reaffirmed his commitment to food security in line with the president's Renewed Hope agenda.
Gombe State has an estimated population of 4,000 people, 85% of whom are smallholder farmers. With Gombe State selected as a special agro-industrial processing zone and hotbed of agricultural activities in the Northeast sub-region, Governor Inuwa Yahaya moves to boost agricultural output by flagging off the distribution of 4,000 tons of fertilizer at half the price.
Over the years, our administration has invested billions of naira in procuring assorted fertilizers and other essential inputs, thus ensuring their timely distribution to our farmers at subsidized rates. This initiative is part of our broader strategy in order to boost agricultural productivity and enhance food security. Agriculture is the backbone of both developed and developed economies worldwide. Despite the financial challenges we face, our government remains steadfast in its commitment to investing massively in this sector. Farming communities dominate the rural economy in Gombe State, and substantial investment in agriculture is crucial for the state's economic growth and development, especially with respect to harnessing the irrigation potentials across our major irrigation areas and dams.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, Governor Inuwa Yahaya has consistently supported agricultural activities through provision of farming inputs and curbing farmer-herder clashes.
Your Excellency, I want to sincerely express my gratitude that of the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Cooperatives and the entire farming communities of Gombe State for giving us the opportunity under your able leadership to benefit from your administration's kind gesture in agriculture. Your Excellency, today's occasion is a confirmation of your administration's unrelenting efforts and strong determination to develop the agricultural sector.
For farmers, the subsidy in fertilizer prices means greater productivity that would guarantee food security.
What the governor has done is timely, and also the price is affordable to our farmers. Compare how they sell it in the market. So by that, it will boost our farming and so we'll have food security in our state. As far as the governor has provided this fertilizer at a good time and at the same time as affordable. So it's my belief that this year we'll have bumper harvest compared to last year.
With a 50% subsidy, farmers will now pay 22,000 naira, and they express gratitude for the governor's massive reforms in the agricultural sector, which are in sync with the renewed hope agenda of ensuring food self-sufficiency in the country.
Time to find out the latest from the world of business. Willie Bong has details.
Thanks, Melinda. Nigeria's forex reserves have shown sustained improvement this week, rising further by over $297 million to $33.64 billion, according to latest CBN data as of June the 20th. The latest surge marks the highest level since March this year. Going forward, analysts anticipate an improvement in FX liquidity as a partial disbursement of $750 million of the World Bank's loan will allow for more CBN interventions in the FX market. And the governor of Gombe State, Inuwa Yahya, has led a high-powered delegation to the Kingdom of Morocco to woo investors to Gombe and understudy the breakthroughs recorded by the North African country across various sectors. After a week-long stay, the mission resulted in opening up Gombe for investments and the signing of memoranda of understanding between Gombe State and a number of Moroccan firms to boost agriculture, education, animal husbandry, civil engineering, and a host of others.
It's a special team of stakeholders from Gombe State that visited the Kingdom of Morocco, and the goal was clear: to diversify the state's economy, wean the state from over-reliance on federal allocations, and drive tangible human capital development, and with the particular aim also of attracting investment to the state's industrial park. During the week-long visit, the team understudied operations at the Moroccan fertilizer plants, dairy production outfits, engineering and construction sites, irrigation sites, and tertiary education campuses.
Some others, typical primary school. That's what education is all about, isn't it? Yes.
The team's mission is to seek areas of partnership with the North African country, as well as invite investors to tap from the vast opportunities available in Gombe State.
We came with a clear mission and a vision to see that we entrench deeper the relationship between the two countries. We are going to deepen and widen the relationship so that our people will mutually benefit one another. And I would like to add that the university we saw has really convinced us of the seriousness with which our organization has put in effort in research and development.
The mission appears productive as the state government secured a number of memorandum of understandings, including one with OCP Africa to bolster fertilizer production and agricultural activities. In the same breath, an MOU was signed to enable Gombe students study at Morocco's Coventry University.
I hope this platform also will allow other exchange, not only in agriculture, but also in other area like academic area. That's why we invite our colleague, but also in other field that you see that we can bring value. We are not only fertilizer supplier, but we are partner to develop the agriculture and the ecosystem for the agriculture where we are. Children living in the street.
For the hosts and visitors, this mission is the beginning of a journey that would change the economic landscapes of both countries.
What we see is that clearly Gombe is a hub for the Northeast and for the whole of the northern Nigeria. And that's very important for us too at OCP. We want to partner with organizations, state governments particularly, that see agriculture as a mainstay. And that's exactly what Gombe is doing. And His Excellency has shown that in his participation the last 1 week, his active participation the last 1 week, taking notes on different things that we can do together. So we look forward to a lot of productive things with the land of Gombe.
As Gombe State and the Kingdom of Morocco join forces to create value in critical sectors of the economy, Governor Inuwa Yahaya says his government is focused on opening up Gombe for investment and providing a better lease of life for the 4 million residents in Gombe State.
Now, the Anambra State has been ranked #1 in the Q1 State Fiscal Transparency Ranking out of Nigeria's 36 states. This ranking, released by Budget Nigeria, places Anambra ahead of Edo, Ekiti, and Jigawa, with Ebonyi in the top 5, while Imo, Borno, and Bayelsa fall to the bottom. According to Press Secretary to the Governor, Chukwuma Soludo, Christian Aburima, this is the first time Anambra has achieved this ranking since its creation. Mr. Aburima emphasizes that this accomplishment highlights the significant impact of Governor Soludo's innovative and responsible leadership. We head to Abuja, where Terry Kumi is standing with sport news.
Welcome to Sports News. President of Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, presented the Nigeria Premier League Football Winners' Trophy to champions-elect Rangers International FC of Enugu after their matchday 38 clash against Gombe United at the New Zaria Road Stadium in Jos on Sunday. The Flying Antelopes won their 8th NPFL title when they defeated Bendel Insurance 2-0 at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium last weekend, with a game in hand, and will fly Nigeria's flag in the prestigious CAF Champions League competition for the first time in many years. The champions have already announced that they will fly the squad alongside the trophy back to Enugu from Jos aboard a chartered aircraft after the game, which is expected to be attended by Plateau State Governor Barrister Caleb Muftuang. Outside Nigeria, Portugal are through to the last 16 of Euro 2024 after comfortably seeing off Turkey 3-0 and guaranteeing first place in Group F. Bernardo Silva's fine finish in the 21st minute, a comical Samit Akadin own goal shortly afterwards, and Bruno Fernandes's second-half tap-in gave Portugal a straight win in front of swats of passionate Turkish fans in Dortmund. Coach Roberto Martinez's side, on a perfect 6 points, will face one of the 4 best third-place finishers in the next round and go into their final group game against Georgia without any pressure for a result. Meanwhile, Patrick Schick chested home to earn the Czech Republic a 1-1 draw against debutants Georgia in an entertaining match earlier today, but it leaves both teams in a tricky spot in Euro 2024 Group F. Georgia took a deserved lead on the stroke of halftime with a penalty converted calmly by striker Georgios Mikhautadze after a somewhat controversial VAR check for handball from Robin Ranek. They have a point each, having lost their opening matches. Czech Republic will face Turkey, while Georgia will face Portugal in their final group game on Wednesday. Well, that's all in sports news. Back to you, Melinda.
Many thanks, Terry. On the international scene, 22 people are feared dead after the offices of the Red Cross in Gaza came under attack by shelling. According to the International Committee of Red Cross, the heavy caliber projectiles landed within meters of the office and residences around which individuals had sought shelter. In response, an Israel Defense Force spokesperson explained that initial inquiries suggested that there was no indication that it carried out a strike in the area, but investigations are ongoing. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza is giving different figures, putting the number of deaths from the shelling at 25 and holding Israel responsible. The United States has steered a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier to South Korea's Busan port. This is in preparation for a maiden military exercise between the two countries and Japan. The military drills, called Freedom Edge, will take place next month as part of an agreement reached at Camp David Summit in August 2023, aimed at strengthening security cooperation in the region. The warship, the USS Theodore aircraft carrier, becomes the first of its kind to visit the country since November 2023. This comes just days after Russia and North Korea signed a pact to support each other in the event of an aggression by a third party. UK reform leader Niger Farage has defended his claim that the West provoked Russia's invasion of Ukraine following condemnations from leaders across the political spectrum. Writing in the Daily Telegraph, the Reform UK leader said he had never been an apologist or supporter of Russian President Vladimir Putin, but if you poke the Russian bear with a stick, don't be surprised if he responds. In an earlier interview, Mr. Farage said the war with Mr. Putin was Mr. Putin's fault, but the expansion of the EU and NATO had given him a reason to retaliate and defend his country. Responding to the interview, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the comment was completely wrong and only plays into Mr. Putin's hands, accusing Mr. Farage of appeasement that was dangerous for Britain's security. And the main news again. A sad day for the Christian community in Zamfara State as gunmen abducted a Catholic priest in Dambwa. Police said efforts are on to rescue the priest from captivity. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinami on behalf of the team. Good night.
The Abuja Light Rail, Arterial Road N20 or Professor Wole Soyinka Way, the Wuye Interchange, roads B6 and B12 in the city center, the new residence for Vice President Kashim Shettima, and the Arterial Road and Bridge at Shagari Satellite Quarters in Kwali Area Council. These are just a few of the projects